Well, I don't want to start with 6 females when I've got 2 Hispanics with an interpreter perhaps waiting. Magistrate. Yes. Well, we're going to try. Do you have them ready? Okay, well, let's get them ready in a moment. And I'll try and get the translator. We're not going to be able to do it the way I want to, but may be able to do it the way we can. Okay. I want you all first because I've got a translator. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry.
Hello.
Christina.
Hello?
Can you hear me, Christina? Hello?
Hello?
Christina, can you hear me? I'm trying to use the speakerphone feature, and I don't know if it's working. Let me transfer it over here. Can you hear me now? Oh, let me cover up the speaker. Now can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me now? Okay, well, I'm not sure how this is going to work. We'll see. Let me see if I can get these fellas on the line here.
Give me just 1 second. I'm gonna go get him right now.
All right, they're going to collect the individuals. Stand by.
He's standing right in here.
What is your name, sir?
Julio Miguel Francisco.
Can you hear him, Christina?
Julio Miguel Francisco.
Stand by. Can you hear him?
Julio Miguel Francisco.
She's talking on the phone.
Just a moment. The speaker feature apparently is not working well. Let me try and call you on my cell phone here. That speaker works better.
Hello.
Hello. I can hear you now. Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you all right, yes.
All right, sir. ¿Qué es su nombre?
Señor, ¿cómo se llama usted?
Julio Miguel Francisco.
¿Puede decirlo otra vez, por favor?
Julio Miguel Francisco.
Julio, Julio, Miguel, Francisco. Do you want me to
Sí.
spell it to you?
All right, sir. You have the right to remain silent.
Señor, usted tiene el derecho a mantenerse callado, a no decir nada.
No.
You have the right to be represented by an attorney.
Y usted tiene el derecho a estar representado por un abogado.
You have a
Sí, está
right.
bien.
Oh, you have a right to have a hearing
Usted tiene el derecho a que se celebre una audiencia
where you can present witnesses and evidence on your own behalf,
donde usted puede presentar testigos y pruebas en su propio nombre.
and you can question any witnesses or evidence that the government puts up against you.
Y usted también tiene el derecho a hacerle preguntas a cualquier prueba o personas, testigos que presente el Estado en contra suya.
Do you understand your rights, sir?
¿Usted entiende los derechos que tiene, señor?
Sí.
Yes.
Sir, you are charged with driving under the influence, second offense.
Señor, a usted lo están acusando de manejar tomado embriagado por segunda vez.
Sí.
Do you understand
Yes.
what you are accused of?
¿Usted entiende de qué lo están acusando?
No.
No.
Uh,
I think he didn't understand the question because he said yes before, but we can explain to
okay.
him that.
Do
what
you
that means.
understand what it is that you are accused of, sir?
¿Usted entiende de qué es que se trata de lo que lo están acusando?
Lo que pasa es estoy tomado y estoy manejando carro.
Well, what happens is that I was drunk and I was driving a car. Should I tell him not to start telling the details?
All right, sir. You don't need to make any comments about the event.
Mire, señor, usted no tiene que hacer ningún comentario sobre lo que pasó.
I just need to make sure that you understand why you got arrested.
Yo solo tengo la obligación de saber, de confirmar de que usted entiende la razón por la cual lo arrestaron. Solo saber si usted entiende o no. No dar en detalle.
¿Cómo así? Cuéntame otra vez, yo no escucho.
¿Cómo?
Como dices, yo no escucho.
He says, what you say, I'll listen to you. I will again repeat that sentence, okay? Yo tengo que confirmar, cerciorarme, asegurarme de que usted entiende la razón por la cual lo arrestaron a usted. ¿Usted entiende la razón por la cual lo arrestaron a usted? Porque lo están acusando de manejar tomado embriagado. ¿Usted entiende eso? ¿De qué es lo que lo acusan? Yes, he does understand.
Oh.
Very well. Did you fill in a form that I'm holding up requesting a lawyer to be appointed by the court?
Usted rellenó un documento, una hoja, en la que está pidiendo que le pongan un abogado nombrado por la corte.
Si se puede, uno de gratis, se puede.
If I can have one for free, if that is possible.
Did you fill in this form? Yes or no?
Mi pregunta es, ¿usted rellenó este documento que estoy aquí sosteniendo? ¿Usted rellenó este documento donde le hacían preguntas? ¿Usted lo rellenó y contestó las preguntas?
Sí.
¿Usted hizo eso? Yes.
Sí.
Please raise your right hand and be sworn.
Entonces, por favor, levante su mano derecha para prestar juramento.
Do you swear the information you put on their form is all true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Mire, ¿usted jura o afirma que toda la información que usted puso en este documento es la verdad y es correcta según usted sepa y entienda?
Sí.
Yes.
Very well. You can put your hand down.
Muy bien, ya puede bajar la mano.
Okay.
Okay. So, okay.
Can you tell me, sir, how long have you lived in the Knoxville area?
Señor, ¿me puede decir usted cuánto tiempo lleva viviendo en el área de Knoxville?
Todavía falta 2 años.
It's almost going to be 2 years.
That's what happened. It came out with it.
All right, sir. I find you do qualify for an appointed attorney.
Señor, entonces yo he llegado a la conclusión que usted reúne los requisitos para que le nombre y le he nombrado un abogado para que lo represente.
I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you in this matter.
Le voy a nombrar la oficina de abogados de oficio para que lo representen en este asunto.
There is a $50 assessment associated with this appointment.
Y para este nombramiento del abogado hay una comisión de $50 que hay que pagar para este abogado que se le va a dar.
That should be paid to the clerk's office on or before January 13th.
Eso va a tener que pagarse hasta más tardar el 13 de enero.
In the
13 de
event,
enero.
13 de enero.
in the event you're not able to take care of that by January 13th, it probably would be added on as part of the court costs.
Si usted no logra llegar a pagar eso antes del 13 de enero, lo más probable es que luego se lo agreguen a los costes judiciales que usted tenga que pagar luego.
I'm setting your bond. Okay, I'm sorry.
He said, okay.
I'm setting your bond in this case at $1,000.
Le he fijado una fianza para salir de la cárcel en $1,000.
There are additional bond conditions.
Pero también hay condiciones adicionales para salir bajo fianza de la cárcel.
While on bond, you shall not drink alcoholic beverages or take any drugs unless they're prescribed by a doctor.
Usted, mientras está libre de la cárcel, habiendo pagado la fianza y el caso pendiente, usted no tiene ningún permiso de tomar ninguna bebida alcohólica o de tomar drogas a menos que sean recetadas por un médico.
You shall only drive vehicles that have an ignition interlock device installed.
Usted solo puede manejar vehículos que tengan instalados un dispositivo de arranque.
But also, you shall not drive any motorized vehicle because your license is revoked for your first DUI conviction.
Pero además, usted no tiene permiso de manejar ningún vehículo, ya que su licencia había sido revocada por la condena por haber manejado tomado por primera vez.
While on bond, you must be supervised by the Knox County Pretrial Office and comply with all their rules.
Y mientras usted se encuentra fuera de la cárcel habiendo pagado la fianza, usted tiene que estar supervisado por la oficina de libertad condicional antes de resolver el caso, que se llama pretrial. Ahí le van a dar una hoja. Usted tiene que acudir ahí a la oficina entre los primeros 2 días de salir de la cárcel y usted tiene que seguir todas las reglas y lo que le ordenan a usted, le imponen a usted como condición que tiene que cumplir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, you shall not violate any local, state, or federal laws.
También usted no puede violar ningunas leyes locales, estatales o federales.
And in addition, you must not change your mailing address or residence without notice to the Knox County Sessions Court Clerk's Office.
Y otra cosa es que usted no puede cambiar su dirección postal o la dirección donde usted vive sin primero notificárselo a la Secretaría de la Tribunal del Condado de Knox.
I'm scheduling your case for January the 4th.
Le he fijado una fecha en la corte para el 4 de enero.
That will be in DUI court for a bond hearing.
Y eso va a ser en la sala de DUI, o sea, de no manejar embriagado, para fijar una audiencia para fijarlo de la fianza.
In the event that you have not been able to make bond, your attorney will be able to present arguments and evidence to the court to ask that your bond be lowered or your bond conditions be relaxed.
Y en caso de que usted no haya podido salir bajo fianza hasta esa fecha, su abogado va a hablar allí en su nombre ese día en la corte y va a pedir que quizás le reduzcan la fianza o le aflojen un poco las condiciones de la libertad después de haberlo soltado de la cárcel para ver cómo se puede hacer eso.
Do you have any questions, sir?
¿Usted tiene alguna pregunta?
Nomás te pregunto que si hasta que te lo pago los $1,000 y te voy a salir aquí o después.
My question is, if I pay the $1,000, am I going to be released or afterwards?
If you pay the $1,000 bond, you would be released, and they probably would give you a different court date. But be sure you go to court, because the $1,000 does not solve the court problem. It just lets you out of jail. And you can use a bonding company.
Mire, señor, si usted sale bajo fianza, entonces lo más probable es que le vayan a dar una nueva fecha. Y usted tiene que acudir a la corte en esa fecha que le den. Pero solo para que tenga en claro, Al pagar los $1,000, eso no resuelve el caso que usted tiene en el tribunal. Eso simplemente le permite estar fuera de la cárcel mientras está pendiente ese cargo en contra suya.
O también, entonces el 4 tengo corte de aquí.
So then, if I also have here on the 4th, I would have a court date.
Yes, you have a court date on the 4th.
Sí, usted.
If you post bond, they probably will change that court date to a later date. Probably,
Mire,
but they would tell you that.
Mire, usted por ahora tiene la fecha en la corte el 4 de enero, pero yo creo que lo más probable es que si usted paga los $1,000 y lo sueltan de la cárcel, ahí le van a dar una nueva, lo más probable, creo, no es seguro, pero lo más probable, usted tiene que prestar atención, lo más probable es que le van a cambiar la fecha y le van a dar una nueva fecha en la corte, que ya no es el 4, sino otra fecha. Y entonces es su obligación de ir ese día a la corte.
Está bien.
That's fine.
Very well. Your arraignment is complete, sir.
Muy bien, entonces hemos terminado su lectura de cargos, señor.
Está bien.
That's fine.
We have one more individual,
Okay.
Christina.
Yes.
¿Cómo se llama, sir? Señor? ¿Cómo se llama, señor?
Elvin Leonel Mérida Rivas.
Sir, you have a right to remain silent.
Señor, usted tiene el derecho a mantenerse callado.
You have a right to be represented by an attorney.
Usted tiene el derecho a estar representado por un abogado.
Sí.
Yes.
In the event you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you.
En caso de que usted no tenga suficiente dinero para contratar un abogado privado, le pueden nombrar un abogado para que lo represente.
Sí.
Yes.
You have a right to have a hearing where you can present witnesses and evidence on your own behalf, and you can question any witnesses or evidence that the government puts up against you.
Usted tiene el derecho a que se celebre una audiencia donde usted puede traer testigos y pruebas en su favor y donde usted también va a poder hacerle preguntas a los testigos y sobre las pruebas que presente el gobierno en contra suya.
Sí.
Yes.
Do you understand your rights, sir?
¿Usted entiende los derechos que usted tiene, señor?
¿Cómo?
¿Entiende los derechos que le acaba de decir la gente?
Do you understand your rights, sir?
¿Usted entiende sus derechos, señor?
Did I just explain?
Los que le acabo de
no sé.
explicar. Los que le
Oh,
acabo de
sí.
explicar. ¿Entiende lo que le acabo de decir? ¿Los derechos que usted tiene?
Sí.
Yes.
Did you fill in one of these forms requesting an attorney?
¿Usted rellenó uno de estos documentos pidiendo un abogado?
Sí.
Yes.
Raise your right hand and be sworn.
Entonces, por favor, levante la mano derecha para prestar juramento.
Do you swear the information on the form is all true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
¿Usted jura que toda la información que está en este documento es la verdad y es correcta según usted sepa y entienda?
Sí.
Yes.
Very well. You can put your hand down.
Muy bien, ya puede bajar la mano.
How long have you lived in the Knoxville area, sir?
¿Cuánto tiempo lleva viviendo en el área de Knoxville, señor?
1 año y medio.
1.5 years.
You do roofing work.
¿Usted trabaja en techos?
Sí.
Yes.
That's very hard work.
Eso es un trabajo muy duro.
Sí.
Yes.
I did that work when I was much younger.
Hice ese trabajo cuando era más joven.
No, en eso trabajo.
That's what I work in.
Sir, you are charged with resisting arrest.
Señora, usted lo acusan de haber resistido a ser arrestado.
Do you understand what you are accused of?
¿Usted entiende de qué lo están acusando?
No.
No. Can I ask him if he understands what resisting arrest means?
Yes.
¿Usted entiende lo que significa cuando uno dice resistir a ser arrestado?
Oh, sí.
Yes. He understands what that means.
Sir, you also have an attachment for a DUI case where you missed a court date.
Señor, usted también que le da un cargo de manejar embriagado al que usted no fue a la corte.
¿Cómo?
What do you say?
You were arrested for DUI back in July, and you failed to go to court.
A usted lo arrestaron en julio por haber manejado embriagado o tomado, pero usted luego no fue a la corte cuando le tocaba.
Oh, sí, sí fui. O sea, me mandaron.
Oh, yes, they sent me.
Well, there is a paper from the court that is also holding you in custody.
Hay un documento en la corte que también dice que entonces lo arresten a usted por eso.
And there is a
Sí.
$3,000 bond on that matter.
Y para ese asunto hay una fianza impuesta de $3,000.
Sí,
And
está
I-
bien.
Yes, that's fine.
And I'm putting a $200 bond on this resisting arrest charge.
Y yo estoy agregando una fianza de $200 por este nuevo cargo de resistirse a ser arrestado.
Sí, está bien.
Yes, that's fine.
I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you in this
Le voy
matter.
a nombrar a alguien en la oficina de abogados de oficio para que alguien lo represente de esa oficina.
Sí,
Uh,
está bien.
Yes, that's fine.
and I'm going to waive any administrative fee, so you don't have to pay that. That was tacked on when they were first appointed.
Y no le voy a cobrar ninguna comisión administrativa por nombrarle ese abogado.
Sí,
I'm going
Yes.
to schedule your case for January the 4th. That will be in DUI court.
Le voy a poner la fecha de ir a la corte el 4 de enero, y eso sería en la sala de no manejar tomado, o sea, la sala DUI,
For a bond
ajá,
hearing.
sí.
para una audiencia con respecto a la fianza.
Sí, está bien.
Yes, that's fine.
Do you have any questions?
¿Usted tiene alguna pregunta?
No, está bien.
No, it's fine.
Very well. Officer, I need to speak with the interpreter probably for a moment, and then I'll get in contact with the ladies because they've been waiting and see if we can take care of their arraignments. So if you will
Yes,
just,
sir.
if you'll just hit the thing and leave the meeting, then I can speak to Miss Christina and get her squared away.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Or put it in mute. Put yourself in mute.
Well, sometimes that mutes it, sometimes it doesn't.
Oh, it toggles. Okay.
It mutes it for some people.
Yeah. I see.
What information do you need so that you can file your paperwork to get paid?
Well, if you have docket numbers, but hopefully I can be there on the 4th. I have COVID right now, but I hope to be free to
Oh,
be able to
gracious.
go to court.
Okay, I have docket numbers on Mr. Morita.
Okay.
It is at sign 126-6412 and also 147-4829.
The 126, the other DUI charge, because that looks so
Yeah,
low
that's
for this
the
year.
DUI.
That must have
charge.
been July another year.
That's in the
because we have-
that's in the DUI stuff.
Right. But that must be a very old case.
Well,
Like from
apparently
3
he
years
missed the
ago.
court date, and the bonding company never found him, and they eventually forfeited his bond.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
Now-
That's fine. I got, yeah.
on
And
Mr. Francisco,
yeah.
his case number is at sign 147-5448.
Yes. Okay. I appreciate it. Thank you so very much.
All right, and I'm going to have to talk to somebody and find out how we can get, because I don't know how to hook up with this, and I can't tell you all how to do that. If
Yes,
I
and in the
find out how to
meantime,
do that, it may make it easier.
okay, and I'll find out how I can transfer my old Teams to my new computer.
All righty. Well,
In
you
the
take care.
meantime,
Happy
thank you.
New Year.
Happy New Year to you too, sir. Thank you.
Thank
I'm
you.
glad this worked. Okay, thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Okay. Yes, and see if I can go to. Well, I thought the ladies. How come I have 3 on there? I ought to have 4 on there. Because I think all I've got are forms for ladies. Well, answer the phone lines. Wonderful. This must gonna have to be easier than the last set because we were having to use a translator through a cell phone. What's your name, ma'am?
Hey, Simone.
Ma'am, you have a right to remain silent. Anything that you say could be used against you in court. You have a right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you. You have a right to have a hearing where you can present witnesses and evidence on your own behalf, and you can question any witnesses or evidence that the government puts up against you. You understand your rights?
Yes.
All right, ma'am, you have 2 charges here in Knox County. First one is a charge of driving on suspended license, and the second one is failure to show proof of financial responsibility, which translated into English, that means car insurance. You understand what
Okay.
you're accused of.
Yes.
Did you fill in one of these forms requesting consideration for an appointed attorney?
I did.
Please raise your right hand and be sworn. Do you swear the information you put on your form is all true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
All right, ma'am, you can put your hand down.
Can I bond myself out?
Not exactly. And I'll explain that to you in a moment.
Okay. Thank you.
Says you make $841 a month. Is that employment or disability or?
Disability.
Usually folks that are employed can't sit there and say I make $841 a month.
Right.
Did I need to change anything on that? Do it. Oh, I'll do that.
All right, ma'am, on each one of these charges, you have been released on your recognizance. However,
Right.
there's a hold on you from Anderson County. And it looks like
Okay.
it's for a failure to appear, if I was guessing, on a driving while suspended charge.
It was. Yes.
So they ought to come and fetch you and take care of that. But
Okay.
I don't know when they're going to do that. I've appointed the public defender's office to represent you in this matter. There's a $50 assessment associated with that appointment. That should be paid to the court on or before January 13th. But if you're not able to take care of that, more than likely, it's going to be added on as part of your court cost.
Okay.
I'm going to schedule your case in Knox County for January the 30th, and that will be in misdemeanor court for a preliminary hearing. At your earliest convenience, get in touch with the Knox County Public Defender's Office so hopefully they can meet with you and be properly prepared before you go to court on January the 30th. Do you have any other questions?
So basically, I'm just waiting on Anderson to come get me,
Yes.
and we have no idea when that'll be.
Well, I think they have a time limit, but I'm not sure how long that is. You would
Okay.
think they couldn't just sit there on their chairs and leave you sitting forever.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
very well.
Thank you.
Your name, ma'am?
Ashley Singleton.
Ms. Singleton, you have a right to remain silent. Anything that you say could be used against you in court. You have a right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you. You have a right to have a hearing where you can present witnesses and evidence on your own behalf, and you can question any witnesses or evidence that the government throws up against you. You understand your rights.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, you are charged with identity theft trafficking. Do you understand what you are accused of?
No, I don't know what that is.
Do you need me to read the warrant to you?
Yes, please.
It says, defendant committed the offense of identity theft trafficking in violation of TCA 3914-150 on or about Wednesday, December 28th, 2022 at 0820 at exit 402 mile marker on I-40 in Knox County, Tennessee. Trooper Ryan Fletcher with the Tennessee Highway Patrol contacted the defendant, Ashley Singleton, as a vehicle passenger after a pursuit resulting in a crash with injury off exit 402 mile marker on I-40 in Knox County, Tennessee. During an inventory of the vehicle, Trooper Fletcher recovered multiple documents which did contain personal identifying information of 6 individuals. These documents were recovered in a backpack that Singleton later claimed as her own, and which also contained personal belongings of Singleton. Singleton was read aloud her Miranda warnings and signed stating she understood her rights. Singleton also verbally consented to a search of her cell phone and provided a signature giving consent as well. Singleton stated she had received the documents containing the PII from a friend who needed a safe place to keep the items. Singleton stated she did not know the individuals, nor did she have their consent to possess the documents. A search of Singleton's phone revealed several more documents containing PII of other individuals. Singleton stated she kept the documents on her phone just in case. Singleton was in possession of tax documents, Social Security cards, retirement paperwork, loan applications, and other documents containing PII. Singleton stated she had one friend who could use the PII to obtain credit, goods, or services, but she did not know her whereabouts at this time. Singleton was knowingly in possession of 6 documents that did contain personal identifying information without their consent, with the intent to sell, transfer, give, trade, loan, or deliver the personal identifying information to commit an unlawful act. This did occur in Knox County, Tennessee. That's what the warrant says. Did you fill in one of these forms requesting consideration for an appointed attorney?
Yes, sir.
Raise your right hand and be sworn. You swear the information you put on your form is all true and correct to the best of your knowledge.
Yes, sir.
All right, ma'am, you can put your hand down. How long have you lived in Dandridge?
Almost my whole life.
That don't help me because you didn't invite me to your last birthday party. How old
I'm
are you?
sorry. 29. I've lived from there in Morristown just about my whole life.
AMP to what return for. But Planner one, please.
All right, ma'am, I'm going to find that you do qualify for an appointed attorney, and I'm going to appoint Public Defender's Office to represent you in this matter.
Okay.
There's a $50 assessment associated with that appointment. That should be paid to the clerk's office on or before January 13th. If you're not able to take care of that by January 13th, it probably would be added on as part of your court costs.
Okay.
I'm scheduling your case for January the 4th. That will be in felony court for a bond hearing. At that time, your attorney will be able to present arguments and evidence to ask the court that the bond that I have set today be reduced. I have set your bond at $7,500. But be aware that apparently there is a hold on you from Hamblin County on, it looks like, a charge of theft of property more than $10,000. So if you make bond here, you would not be released. They would just call Hamblin County and tell them to come fetch you.
Okay.
But I'm scheduling your case for January the 4th. That'll be Wednesday in felony court for that bond hearing. Any other questions?
No, sir.
Very well. Your arraignment is complete.
Thank you.
Your name, ma'am?
Jacqueline Kirk.
Ms. Kirk, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say could be used against you. You have a right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you. You have a right to have a hearing where you can present witnesses and evidence on your own behalf, and you can question any witnesses or evidence that the government puts up against you. You understand your rights.
I do.
Did you fill in a form requesting consideration for an appointed attorney?
I did.
Raise your right hand and be sworn. You swear the information you put on your form is all true and correct to the best of your knowledge.
I do.
All right, ma'am, you can put your hand down. You have a charge in Knox County of simple possession. Do you understand what that's about?
I do.
It also looks like there's a hold on you from Bradley County on a charge of driving on suspended license. So when you're released in Knox County, they'll send you or call Bradley County to come fetch you if Bradley County wants to come fetch you on a charge of driving on suspended license.
Okay.
That sounds like a long drive.
Yeah.
right, ma'am. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you in this matter. There's a $50 assessment associated with that appointment. That should be paid to the clerk's office on or before January the 13th. In the event you're unable to take care of that by January the 13th, more than likely it'd be added on as part of your court costs. I'm going to schedule your case for January the 30th. That will be in misdemeanor court for preliminary hearing. It would be best if you could meet with public defender's office and be proper so they can be properly prepared for that court hearing on the 30th, because if you go to court with a free lawyer and you've not met with them, the judge would be grumpy. And hopefully Bradley County will either come and fetch you or say that Knox County can go ahead and take care of you. Your bond in this case, you have been released on pretrial.
Okay.
So you don't have to post a bond on this simple possession charge. That's why Bradley County ought to be able to come and get you straight away.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No, do you know if it's true if they're closed for like 10 days?
If what's
Bradley
closed?
County? Bradley County, if they close down for like 10 days?
I don't know. Knox County courts close down for about 10 days during this period of time, but the sheriff's department doesn't close and the judges don't come pick you up. So I would think that and Knox County courts open back up on the 4th of January.
Okay.
So I don't know what Bradley County's schedule is.
Thank you so much.
Very well.
Yeah.
Your name, ma'am?
Savannah Doherty.
Ma'am, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say could be used against you in court. You have a right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you. You have a right to have a hearing where you can present witnesses and evidence on your own behalf, and you can question any witnesses or evidence that government puts up against you. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, sir.
Did you fill in one of these forms requesting consideration for an appointed attorney?
Yes.
Please raise your right hand and be sworn. Do you swear the information you put on your form is all true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Sir.
All right, ma'am, you can put your hand down. Are you receiving disability, Ms. Doherty?
Yes, sir.
How much of that do you get a month?
I think $8.29. My mom's in control of my finances.
Ma'am, you're charged with possession of drug paraphernalia. Do you understand what you're accused of?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, that's really good. The wire down, not completely.
All right, ma'am. I'm going to appoint Ms. Rachel Wolf to represent you in this matter. Her telephone number is 325-9653. I'm going to schedule your case for January 30th. That will be in misdemeanor court for preliminary hearing. There's a $50 assessment that's associated with this appointment. That should be paid to the clerk's office on or before January the 13th. In the event you're not able to take care of that, it probably would be added on as part of your court cost. For what it's worth, my recollection that you went over to some fellow's house and he supposedly had an order of protection or something on you at some time, and he called the police to get you taken to jail. And although that order was not exactly still in effect, they did find the drug paraphernalia on it. So, I ain't your dad, but if I was, I'd tell you, number one, you don't need to be fooling with drugs or drug paraphernalia. It's bad for you. And number two, you don't need to be fooling with that fella anymore because he's not your friend. I'm setting your case for January 30th. That'll be in misdemeanor court at 9 a.m. Do you have any questions?
So I don't have a bond.
No, you're being released on your recognizance. I'm trusting you to go to court. So that means tonight you won't be sleeping in that nice, warm place where you are right now. You'll probably miss out on the sheriff's Friday night supper.
Nice. Good. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Very well. Your arraignment is complete. Your name, ma'am?
Rhonda Lenois.
Ma'am, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say could be used against you in court. You have a right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you. You have a right to have a hearing where you can present witnesses and evidence on your own behalf, and you can question any witnesses or evidence that the government throws up against you. You understand your rights.
Yes. Yes, sir.
You fill in one of these forms requesting consideration for an appointed attorney.
Yes, sir.
Just raise your right hand and be sworn. Do you swear the information you put on your form is all true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Very well, you can put your hand down. Ma'am, you have an attachment regarding a joyriding case. That attachment was issued on December the 12th, and there's a $300 cash bond on that attachment. It also appears that there's a hold on you from Sevier County. Do you understand what this attachment is about?
No, I don't.
You don't remember a joyriding case?
Yes, I do. Yes.
I
I
can't.
don't know what the
I
attachment
can't.
is.
I can't answer anything about what's going on in Sevier County because I don't have any
I
paperwork.
understand that.
All right. Apparently, there was a court date on December the 12th, and they're thinking that you missed it.
I had no idea that I had an appointment.
Well,
A date.
well, actually, it looks like there was a court date back in June where an attachment was first issued, and they renew them every 6 months. And so, why December the 12th would matter would be because that's when it would have been renewed.
I had no idea about even the one in June.
All right, ma'am, I'm going to appoint public defender's office to represent you in this case, and I'm going to waive the administrative fee because I'm sure that was added on when they were first appointed. As I say, there's a $300 cash bond, but if you make it, you wouldn't be released. You just get to go to Sevier County.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to schedule your case for January the 4th. That will be in, well, let me see which court that's in. That'll be in felony court on a scheduling setting or an other than trial setting. Your attorney will be able to get in there and might get something done with the bond or get something done with the entire case. Do you have any questions?
No.
Very well. Your arraignment is complete.
Thank you.
Your name, ma'am?
Felicia Bonjoma.
Ma'am, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say could be used against you in court. You have a right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you. You have a right to have a hearing where you can present witnesses and evidence on your own behalf, and you can question any witnesses or evidence that the government puts up against you. You understand your rights.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, you're charged with aggravated assault domestic. Do you understand what you are accused of?
Yes.
I'm sorry?
Yes, I am.
Did you fill in one of these forms requesting consideration for an appointed attorney?
Yes, sir.
Please raise your right hand and be sworn. Do you swear the information you put on your form is all true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
All right, ma'am, you can put your hand down. Ma'am, can you tell me how long you have lived in the Knoxville area?
2+ years, so basically my whole life.
How old are you?
23.
I'm sorry?
23.
Oh, how are you, sir?
I'm doing arrangements still.
Good to see you 2 days in a row. Aren't you lucky?
I'm doing arraignments right now.
Oh, sorry. Didn't hear you.
All right, ma'am, I find you do qualify for an appointed attorney, and I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you in this matter. There's a $50 assessment associated with that appointment. That should be paid to the clerk's office on or before January the 13th. In the event you're not able to take care of that by January 13th, more than likely it'll be added on as part of your court cost. I'm going to schedule your case for January the 4th. That'll be in felony court for a bond hearing. At that time, your attorney will be able to present arguments and evidence to the court to show that the bond that I have set is excessive and should be reduced, or that the bond conditions can be changed. In the event you're released on bond, you're to have no contact whatsoever with someone named Edward Ingram. That means no going around where he works or lives or any other place where he's likely to be hanging out. No phone calls, no text messages, no communication through email, Facebook, or any of these other social media things. In short, Mr. Ingram is to think that you have dropped off the face of the earth. So I say I'm scheduling your case for January the 4th. I'm setting your bond in this case at $1,500. That can be made with a bonding company. Do you have any questions, ma'am?
So I'm able to bond out and then be released, correct?
Yes, if you bond out, don't forget to go to court.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I understand.
Very well. Your arraignment is complete.
All right, that's all I got for you.
Very well. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you.